Hey everybody, welcome to A Pop of Culture. I hope everybody is doing well today. I'm doing pretty good. I came on here just to do a little podcast where I talk about my feelings of discomfort with people who enjoy humbling other people. And this is just a reflection because a content creator I watch and admire, they made a video a few years back and something about it never set right with me. Something about it just, it always kind of rubbed me the wrong way. So I decided, why not make a video about it? Because I feel like the idea of people trying to humble other people has been something that's kind of been coming up in different areas of my life. And I just wanted to speak about it. So basically, a few years back, when Kevin Samuels was rising to prominence, 𝘎𝙬𝙗𝙗, a content creator who I admire, I respect, I think he makes really good content. Now, of course, I don't co-sign everything that he's ever said, even though I don't think he himself co-signs everything he's ever said or done. But I'm just saying that's a disclaimer, because people love to pull up certain things from his past and say, oh, but he did this or he said this, even though I feel like he's grown as a person and he's shared that on his channel. So I feel like it can be toxic when people try to pull up old stuff to try to malign people. And that's a whole other conversation, but I do think it's toxic where people will point out one thing that somebody did and try to discredit everything they've ever done. And I feel a lot of people do that with 𝘎𝙬𝙗𝙗 because he says what he means and means what he says. I'm just saying I don't co-sign everything he said, even though I respect him as a content creator. But I enjoy a lot of his content, so I watched a lot of his videos. I don't watch as many of his videos now just because I don't watch a lot of the reality shows that he discusses, so I'm just like, would I even understand what's going on? But anyways, a few years back, he made a video with a dating coach, a black woman dating coach, and they were basically discussing the viral clip from Kevin Samuels of the woman being average at best. Now, before I get into my discussion of 𝘎𝙬𝙗𝙗 and the dating coach that he was talking to about this situation, before I get into their commentary on the average at best clip, I want to just talk about my feelings on Kevin Samuels in relation to this clip. I actually made a video after Kevin Samuels passed about my feelings on him, my feelings on his content, my feelings on the impact he had on the community. Feel free to check that video out. But in this video, I want to talk about my feelings on him as I was exposed to him through these viral clips. I was not a fan of Kevin Samuels through these viral clips, and when I saw these clips, they made me not want to support him, not want to interact with him, not want to engage with his content. Because in these clips, he was going out of his way to put black women down, to make them feel they were not good enough, to make them feel they're less than, they're not deserving of this, they're not deserving of that. Now, some people may say it's tough love and that he was trying to help them. He was just delivering the message in a certain type of way, and that's a conversation in itself that we could have. But in today's video, we're not going to be talking about that. We're not going to be talking as much about him and his delivery. I want to talk more about the 𝘎𝙬𝙗𝙗 video and their commentary on the average at best clip. So one of the issues I had with the 𝘎𝙬𝙗𝙗 and relationship coach commentary is I feel 𝘎𝙬𝙗𝙗 in his commentary was a little bit too eager to try to sit some black women down. I remember in the video he talks about how there were some black women who he was around, that he spends time with, and how some of them, how they will get upset if a black man doesn't express interest in them, and they'll say, oh, black men don't even want black women anymore, etc., etc. And he was saying how he felt some of these black women, they were not being real with themselves. He was saying how he was at the gym, I believe, and this black woman he was with, she was someone who was not in the best shape, but she wanted this man who was extremely fit, very in shape, to come and talk to her. And I will say, I do think when it comes to dating, we do have to be real about ourselves, our looks, what we bring to the table, etc. But for me, I wasn't really annoyed by what he was saying because I thought there was truth to what he was saying, but it was the eagerness in his voice, because he said, well, I want to tell them he don't want you, etc. He don't want your fat ass. I don't remember if he said that, but there was something about the eagerness in his voice of him really wanting to hammer it home to these black women that he was around, that these black men we're not attracted to them, not necessarily because they're Black women, but because they're maybe not in the best shape. Maybe they have some work to do when it comes to their appearance, etc., etc. And I guess that's what I want to talk about in this video. Like, it was something in his voice, the eagerness of him saying, they don't want you, they don't want you, that bothered me. Because for me, I'm the type where I can observe things. I consider myself a critical thinker. I consider myself to be someone who is intelligent. So I think there's nothing wrong with him observing this trend of maybe the most handsome, conventionally attractive toned guy doesn't want to be with somebody who isn't in shape. I don't disagree with that observation. But my issue was this eagerness of wanting to be the person to burst that woman's bubble. And I will say sometimes it can be frustrating when people will try to change reality and not see reality objectively to suit their narrative. Because it can be annoying when you hear some Black women saying, oh, well, Black men don't even want Black women anymore. When the reality is there's plenty of Black men dating Black women. And when people will try to use that as a way to not evaluate themselves and see if there's things they could change to improve their dating life. So I get why 𝘎𝙬𝙗𝙚 is frustrated, because when you are around people who will constantly complain but not do anything to change or to be self-aware, that can be frustrating. But there was just something in his voice when he was saying, they don't want you, they don't want you, that bothered me, because it was just like, why do you want to be the person to humble them? And I wanted to make this video to kind of speak about that, like that message of being wary of people who are super eager to humble other people. And I would say I don't necessarily think that he had bad intentions in his clip, because I think he was responding specifically to people who will try to malign Black men when they themselves may not necessarily be positioning themselves and doing the work to attract those men. And I'm not saying that overweight women can't attract fit men, but I'm just saying, like, I do think he was responding to a Black woman who was trying to malign Black men when she herself may have not been doing all the work that she may need to do to attract that type of a man. Because of course, if you're trying to attract someone who is going to the gym every day and who's putting that work to build a certain type of body, and you're not all the way there yet, like, that's not saying you don't deserve to be with someone who has that type of build, but it is saying maybe you can continue to work on yourself, and maybe it'll be easier to attract that type of person when you get to that point, or get to a certain point in your fitness/physique journey. But I just made this video just to say, I don't like when I see people who make it their identity or get excessive joy from putting other people in their place and putting some other people down. Because I feel like that has become this personality trait in some people, where they love trying to be the person to burst somebody else's bubble. And I will say sometimes people may need somebody to speak reality to them and help wake them up from whatever delusions they're in. But a lot of times I see people expressing themselves or having beliefs about themselves that don't hurt anybody, and I'll see people going out of their way to burst their bubble, and I feel like it's a lot of times it's people who've had their bubble burst by somebody else or by life, and it's like they want everybody else to have their bubble burst. If somebody's walking too happy, if they're too ambitious, if they're too driven, if they're too hopeful, too faithful that they're gonna get the things they want in life, some people will be bothered by that, and they'll need to humble them and put them in their place. And I'm not saying that that's 𝘎𝙬𝙗𝙚's vibe or that's what he's trying to do, but I'm very wary of people who try to burst other people's bubble, because it feels like those people are people who've been hurt and they're trying to spread that hurt. It reminds me of those people where somebody tells them that Santa isn't real, so they have to go around and tell other people that Santa isn't real. And it's like, just because somebody ruined that for you doesn't mean that you need to ruin it for other people. And I feel like that goes hand in hand with this conversation about humbling people. Just because somebody put you down or put you in your place or made you feel this type of way, that doesn't mean that it's now your job to make other people feel less than, or feel like they're not good enough, or feel like they're not deserving of whatever they want in life. Like I said, I'm not saying that 𝘎𝙬𝙗𝙚 is somebody who enjoys putting other people down or putting them in that place, but that video just made me feel like that was the vibe that he was giving off. And to close this video, I just want to say, if you are somebody who find yourself constantly wanting to burst other people's bubble, to constantly want to give people reality checks, I want you to evaluate why that is. Did you have people in your life who were constantly telling you what you can and can't do? And the more important question, in my opinion, does it give you joy to watch somebody lose whatever little bit of hope or faith they have? Does it give you joy to see them have that bubble burst? Because I feel like there's two intentions behind it. Sometimes you want to help somebody and you want to bring things to their attention that they may not be aware of. But sometimes it's an evil intent of wanting to break a person, wanting to put a person down. And like I said, a lot of times wanting to make somebody else feel as shitty as you feel. So I feel like people just always have to question their intention. What is their goal in trying to bring somebody back to life, back to reality? That's all I have to say. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Love y'all. Bye-bye. See y'all in the next one. And suggest topics that y'all want to hear from me. I love when y'all give topics because then we all get to engage and interact with something we're interested in hearing and seeing. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. Like this video if you like this video. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the points I made in the comments below. If you enjoyed this content, definitely like, comment, subscribe, and share. That way, even if YouTube isn't pushing my content, those who resonate with it are sharing it so it can connect with others who would enjoy it. Those are some easy, free ways to support a pop of culture. If you want to support this show financially, feel free to send a tip to my Cash App or buy me a cup of coffee, both linked below. All who donate will be featured in the credits of my long-form commentary and cover videos. There are 2 playlists that are going to pop up, one where you can binge watch my covers and one where you can binge watch my commentary. Enjoy. Bye-bye.